Hi, everybody. My name is Kori Collons, and I am a former athlete. I remember playing sports from the time I could walk. I was always trying to play one thing or another. Football, basketball, track, soccer, volleyball, lacrosse, rugby. I tried it all at one point or another. It became a huge part of my identity growing up, as it was a huge source of connection. We moved a bit while I was growing up between new neighborhoods and new schools. Sports was the great equalizer that always broke the ice. I knew as long as I could pick up a ball and run, I could make friends wherever I went. But when I got to high school, football absolutely stole my heart. I started to pour my mind, body, and soul into the game with no hope of return. Then the craziest thing happened. The phone started to ring. School after school started calling and offering me the chance to continue to play in college. It was a dream come true. I got to continue to do what I loved. Next thing I knew, I was at the University of Nevada, ready to start my dreams as an undersized defensive lineman with big dreams in his eyes. This is when things started to take a left turn. Early into my sophomore year, I broke my foot a few days into camp. I was told it was going to be a 4 to 6 week recovery, and I could be back in time for mid-season. I threw myself wholeheartedly into rehab in the weight room every day, trying to get ready for my return. But the healing was slow. Next thing I knew, 8 weeks had gone by, then 10. It was just over 3 months before I was finally cleared. It was in those few months I got my first glimpse of what life without the game really looked like. It was terrifying. I told myself I would do everything I could to stay healthy and get ready for the next season. I go home for winter break, and another bad step, a pop, and I'm out for almost 6 months this time. I come back for one more go. I lost my sophomore and junior year to injury, but I'll make my senior year my best year yet. Next thing I knew, I took one bad hit in practice and went to go lift the next day. I felt a pop in my back and could barely stand. Felt like someone had hit me with a sledgehammer. MRI results come back, and lo and behold, they find fractures in my spine. It wasn't until April the following year that I had fully come to terms with the fact that I would probably never play another down of football. All of a sudden, this world and image I had built for myself came crashing down in an instant. Sports had been such a huge part of my life, but it had also taken up so much of my time. I now had all the time in the world, but no idea what came next or how to deal with it. That's where life after the whistle comes in. I wanted it to serve as a compilation of my experiences, the lessons I've learned, and the things I wish I would have known when my time was done. I wanted it to serve as a beacon for those who haven't quite found their way out of the darkness that came with the end of sports. I made sure to cover everything from networking to mental health and hobbies. A lot of these things were topics that were well known within our communities, but we didn't bother to talk about. And when guys started to slip through the cracks, people started to take notice. There are resources for what the next step can be and what life can be like. The day you hang up your cleats isn't the end, only the start of a beautiful new beginning. I wish I had listened to the people around me, trying to tell me that, so I created a resource to help people like me. Fast forward to the present day, and I built a life for myself using the skills and lessons I learned through athletics. I got engaged to a beautiful human being who stood by me through the highs and lows of an athletic career. I started riding motorcycles and joined a fraternity committed to service. I jumped out of planes and hiked up the sides of waterfalls. I realized I truly loved to cook and spent days in the kitchen experimenting with new recipes. We rescued a couple of kind and snuggly dogs, but all in all, I made sure to just live. So far, we've reached over 6 countries and hundreds of viewers. Remember, your last snap, your last play, your last down is just the beginning of a beautiful life yet left to live.